All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Now, I know it's been a while since I did like the exposing Hollywood videos. We definitely gonna be diving back more into those. I've been saying in the comment section, a lot of y'all been asking, hey dog, where's the Hollywood videos at? And I try to keep them on the loop and keep mixing them in. But the thing is, I definitely wanted to check this one out because it seemed like a lot of time when it comes to Hollywood, they do a lot of lying. The reason why we gave Hollywood the name Hollyweird, because they are weird. They just full of lies and stuff like that, and we all know about that. So I came across this video right here that I want to check out, and Bernie Mac is like one of the funniest comedians ever. When I say ever, he's like at the top of the list. I wouldn't be mad if somebody put Bernie Mac at number one as being one of the most funniest stand-up comedians of all times. I mean, the man was in movies, TV shows. I mean, you name it. He's like one of the ones. I had so much respect for Bernie Mac. And I definitely wanted to check this video out right here. I will leave the original video in the description. It's from the channel Spill Today. This one's called Comedians Speak Out Against Hollywood Over Bernie Mac's Death. So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people, that's in Hollywood that's gonna be speaking out over stuff. Cause like I said, a lot of the time these days you never know what to believe. They kind of just tell you what they want to tell you. So I definitely want to check this out. The video looks like it's about 20-something minutes long. Hopefully y'all stay to the very end with me. And I definitely wanted to check it out. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on the video for the very first time. If y'all like for me to do more of these Hollywood videos like I was doing like a month ago, I will do it. Just let me know. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this because I definitely wanted to see what this right here was all about and some of the comedians that spoke out against Hollywood. So let's dive straight in.
I ain't got no television show. Why? Because you scared of me. Scared I'm going to say something.
For decades, Bernie Mac was a beloved figure, known for his distinctive wit, unfiltered humor, and his unforgettable roles in films like Ocean's 11 and the acclaimed television series The Bernie Mac Show.
All right, let's go. Let's get up, George. Let's get up. Where baby girl at? Good morning, Nessa. I bet if I stop feeding you, you have something to say.
When he departed this world in 2008 at the age of 50, the official narrative attributed his death to complications from pneumonia. However, as the years have rolled on, whispers and speculations on the actual cause of his demise have refused to die down within the comedy circuit.
They put him in a compromising position that he really didn't want to be in.
In a community where laughter is a shield against pain, comedians have begun to speak out, alleging that there's more to Bernie Mac's death than meets the eye. They believe that the dark underbelly of Hollywood, with its hidden pressures and unspoken demands, may have played a role in his tragic end.
Well, you had said that you felt like they worked him to death. Because he was doing Ocean's 11 at the time?
I believe so, man, because, he told us that, man. He told us that...
For starters, Bernie Mac has faced numerous challenges in his life, and early on, he had to endure some particularly difficult moments. One of the most heartbreaking events in his life was the loss of his mother, brother, and father. His mother's battle with breast cancer played a significant role in shaping his life. During an interview with Howard Stern, Bernie revealed the emotional impact of his mother's illness. He recounted a moment when he came home excited after hitting a home run in a baseball game. However, when he entered his home and saw his mother, who wasn't fully covered, he noticed that she had a large scar on her chest. This was a moment of shock and realization for Bernie, as he saw that something was seriously wrong. His mother had a mastectomy, and Bernie was frozen with fear.
I was frozen, because I just kept looking. And she said, "Close the door."
Bernie's mother tried to shield him from the truth, asking him to close the door and not inquire further. It was a painful and confusing experience for a young Bernie, who turned to his grandmother for answers. She too directed him back to his mother, who continued to avoid discussing her condition. Despite the emotional turmoil, Bernie's mother prepared for her eventual passing by, writing a 10-page letter to Bernie's aunt, explaining her death and offering guidance on how to take care of him. In this letter, she expressed confidence in Bernie's ability to persevere. The interviewer acknowledged acknowledged that this was an emotionally charged story and appreciated seeing this vulnerable side of Bernie beyond his public persona as a funny man. Bernie emphasized the importance of being true to oneself and not being afraid to show vulnerability. He noted that his strength came from accepting himself for who he was. Well, young Bernie eventually grew up, and with growth came a new set of challenges. You see, there have been claims that Hollywood allegedly tried to force him to do strange things. Before achieving fame in Hollywood, the multi-talented comedian faced a challenging journey to stardom. He was a dedicated family man, juggling a variety of odd jobs including janitorial work, cooking, and even moving furniture, all in pursuit of his comedic dreams. These early struggles laid the foundation for his relentless pursuit of success, and little did he know that the path ahead would demand a significant price. His breakthrough moment arrived with an appearance on HBO's Def Comedy Jam in 1992, a groundbreaking show that catapulted him into the spotlight. This was a pivotal turning point in his career, demonstrating that dreams could be realized even in one's 30s. However, it was his subsequent performance that left an indelible mark on the landscape of contemporary urban comedy. As he continued to climb the ladder of success, Mack began to realize that there were certain compromises the industry expected him to make. These compromises could be perceived as strange and ethically challenging. It's been claimed that Hollywood pressured him to engage in activities that went against his principles and values. Looking back, one might speculate that his unwillingness to cross those lines could be connected to the tragic fact that he is no longer with us. In fact, one fan revealed some of the shady things that Bernie was allegedly made to do in a tweet which they captioned. The agendas we see in Hollywood are not new. They have been trying to push this stuff on black shows for a while. Here is an old behind-the-scenes clip of a promotional shoot for the Bernie Mac show. They tried to get a teenage boy to sit on Bernie's lap, and he shut that down.
Did you wait?
No.
It would be her.
He ain't going for this.
Isn't Jeremy on the other side?
Where am I?
At first, it seemed like Mac might have been the only comedian that had to deal with the horrible parts of the industry. But it turns out that Mac might have just been the first to have figured it out, as several other entertainers have come out with crazy tales. One of those is Dave Chappelle, and would you believe me if I told you this man up and walked away from a $50 million deal in 2004? Well, let's just say Dave also had his own fair share of Hollywood's dark side. The actor and comedian spoke with Oprah in 2006, and it turns out that his experience might have even been worse than Mac's. During the interview, Chappelle shared insights on the dismissive and sick culture within Hollywood, which allowed many celebrities to be dismissed as being crazy when they brought up certain industry issues involving men wearing dresses.
I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
There has been a decades-long stigma in the African-American community on men who wear dresses. The topic surrounding and cross-dressing continues as the gender lines are being questioned, and for many, wearing a dress does not necessarily define their. In Hollywood, several black male comedians have portrayed feminine characters that wear dresses on television. While these characters like Shanana Jenkins from Martin and Medea have long been funny to some people, others have deemed these portrayals emasculating to the black man. And Chappelle, just like Mac, is one of those people. Chappelle gave an account to Oprah Winfrey during their interview about how everyone from the film's writers to the producers on a movie set attempted to persuade him to wear a dress.
And he put this dress on, and what? It's prostitute. Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Wow, you say he wasn't doing it.
That should have been in the discussion.
The comedian, who shared that he was uncomfortable with doing so, described the insistent attempts from the controlling parties of the set, who all said, all of the greats did it at some point. But no matter how hard they tried, Dave Chappelle
He just wasn't gonna do it. Forget that.
Conspiracy theorist to a degree, to feel as though there was an agenda to get prominent African-American actors in Hollywood to wear women's clothing. The A Star is Born actor begs the question, all the comics that I've seen, Strong Brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses?
It's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress.
Unlike Chappelle, who is very vocal about not wanting to wear women's clothing, many other great comedians have opted to do so. For example, actor and comedian Eddie Murphy has done so on more than one occasion in notable films such as The Nutty Professor and its sequel, Nutty Professor II, The Clumps, and Norbit. In any case, Hollywood allegedly did way more to Bernie than just force him to do things he wasn't comfortable doing. According to Reginald Ballard, Bernie was also being overworked by Hollywood.
Well, you had said that you felt like they worked him to death because he was doing Ocean's 11.
I believe they did too.
I believe so, man, because
Reginald Ballard, who shared the screen with Bernie Mac in the star-studded ensemble of Ocean's 11, spoke candidly about the toll that Hollywood's relentless demands took on the beloved comedian. Ballard recounted that during the production of Ocean's 11, Bernie Mac confided in his fellow cast members about the exhaustive schedule he was enduring. He told us that he was doing so much, Ballard revealed. When Brad Pitt broke his ankle and production had to be delayed, it cut into Bernie's time for other projects like Guess Who. He had to rush and try to do a lot of stuff, and he felt that they didn't understand that it wasn't his fault.
they put him in a compromising position that he really didn't want to be in.
Right.
This revelation sheds light on the grueling pace at which Bernie Mac was forced to operate, juggling multiple film projects and promotional commitments back to back. The pressures of maintaining a demanding work schedule while navigating health issues began to take a toll on the comedian's well-being. Ballard further disclosed that Bernie Mac's health was a constant concern during the filming of Ocean's 11. The actor had been hospitalized prior to shooting due to health complications and was taking medications, including prednisone, which caused noticeable changes in his appearance. You know, we used to do a scene, and he had to go upstairs to his dressing room to get oxygen, Ballard recalled. He'd come back and do the scene again. He was basically working while he was sick. Aside from this, there were speculations that Bernie was overworking himself so as to prove his value in the
That's crazy. And that's the point I be talking about. Hollywood, I mean, they just don't care. All they want is to make their money. They don't care if you sick, something finna happen they don't care. This man was sick and was still forced to do this show. I mean, then now you see a lot of the comedians like Reginald Ballard. Like, we all know Reginald Ballard, especially like from Martin, like bruh man from the Fifth Floor. Like, we know him. And he said even Bernie told him that he was tired sometimes and they just working the crap out of him. And I mean, it's just sad. It's sad that somebody like Bernie Mac is gone, man. Like, that was one of our favorites. I'm pretty sure not just myself, but we all miss Bernie Mac. And now you get a lot of the people from Hollywood, big names that's speaking out against this. But man, I mean, Hollywood, they just don't care at all. All they care about is money, and that's why we gonna keep exposing them for who they are, Hollyweird. And that's the reason why I was happy that Mel Gibson had called them out. You know what I'm saying? So, man, this is crazy, y'all. Let's go.
Industry. You see, Bernie began his career as a stand-up comedian in Chicago's Cotton Club. After he won the Miller Lite Comedy Search at the age of 32, his popularity as a comedian began to grow. In 1992, a performance on the third episode of HBO's Def Comedy Jam thrust him into the spotlight. After Martin Lawrence was unable to calm an increasingly hostile crowd, Mac went on stage and told the audience, "I ain't scared of you," and that he didn't come here for no foolishness. Mac opened for Dionne Warwick, Red Fox, and Natalie Cole. He played a small role in 1994's House Party 3 as Uncle Vester. He also had a short-lived talk show on HBO titled Midnight Mac. Later, Mac also acted in minor roles, playing Mr. Johnson, the no-nonsense owner of a grill and diner in the movie Bab, and Pastor Clever in Ice Cube's 1995 vehicle Friday.
That's the thing about it. Bernie Mac done played in some of the best movies ever, man. I mean, come on. I mean, he done played in some of the best movies ever made and had one of the funniest TV shows, The Bernie Mac Show. Anytime Bernie Mac was in a movie, whether it's going to be a new movie, old movie, we all tuned in because we knew it was going to be hilarious. Like The Players Club. That's another good one that he played in. The movie Friday. It's like no matter, like, whichever movie he was in and he was acting, we knew it was going to be good. Because Bernie Mac was just that good when it came to just doing anything, man.
Role, Mac was chosen to play the title role in the 1995 Apollo revival of The Wiz. Mac had his first starring role as Dollar Bill, a silly, slick-talking club owner in 1998's The Players Club. In 2000, he joined fellow comedians in the film The Original Kings of Comedy. The Original Kings of Comedy is a 2000 American stand-up comedy film directed by Spike Lee and featuring the comedy routines of Steve Harvey, D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac. Filmed in front of a live audience at the Bojangles Coliseum Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, the comedians give the audience their views about African American culture, race relations, religion, and family. The film was produced by MTV Productions and Latham Entertainment and was distributed by Paramount Pictures. It was shot over the last 2 nights, February 26th and 27, 2000, of the Kings of Comedy tour with Harvey, Hughley, Cedric, and Mac. The show is intercut with footage of the comedians backstage, promoting the show on the radio, at the hotel, and during a basketball game. It was a critical and commercial success. The film's popularity led to multiple spin-off films. After the Kings of Comedy hit the scene, a bunch of fans were like, wait, who's this guy? I mean, we'd seen him in our favorite flicks like Friday, The Players Club, and How to Be a Player, but after Kings of Comedy, Bernie Mac's name was on everyone's lips. In fact, there's a good reason they let him close the show. Nobody could follow that act. So after the film, everyone started wondering, why hasn't he got his own show yet?
I ain't got no television show. Why? Because you scared of me. Scared I'm gonna say something.
You see, at the time, Steve and Cedric shared the screen on The Steve Harvey Show, and D.L. Hughley had his own radio show. But Bernie Mac had yet to break through the mainstream. And it's not like people weren't trying to get Bernie Mac on TV. Mac's first attempt in television was hosting an R&B jazz late-night variety show on HBO called Midnight Mac in 1995. The series lasted 4 episodes. Chris Rock, who cast Mac as his brother in the 2003 comedy Head of State, said that he tried to get Bernie a TV show before he became a household name. A few years ago, I had a meeting with NBC. They asked me, what do I want to do? I said, I want to do a TV show with Bernie Mac, Bernie Mac, Bernie Mac, Bernie Mac, Bernie Mac. And you know, they were kind of like, gee, I don't know. They wouldn't do it. It seemed obvious to everyone except for TV executives that this comedian needed his own show. Larry Wilmore, who co-created the PJs and would go on to co-create Insecure with Issa Rae, realized the same thing that Chris Rock and everyone else who saw Kings of Comedy did. Bernie Mac was a bona fide star. Wilmore thought that Mac would be the perfect muse and star of a TV show he was working on. In a 2018 interview with the Television Academy, Wilmore explained how the show came to be. I saw Kings of Comedy and I saw Bernie Mac's act of taking care of his sister's kids. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. If I did a show with Bernie where he's taking care of his sister's kids because the mother's on crack, that emotional tug draws me into the show, and I'll accept this premise that I have. According to Larry's interview on the D.L. Hughley Show in 2019, he already had the idea to do a TV show without Bernie attached. One of the inspirations in creating the show was a PBS reality show called 1900 House. In that show, they rigged cameras in the home. I wanted to do a show where it felt like we were observing the family rather than the action pushed at us.
I mean, just imagine how some of these people felt they wouldn't even get Bernie Mac a TV show at the time. Imagine how they felt after after that, and he just blowed up. I mean, if Bernie Mac hit a stage, he had everybody that was out there in that crowd in tears because he was that funny. I mean, you can go watch any Bernie Mac stand-up show, and you will see that he had everybody. He will have you crying, laughing every single time. And I know a lot of them producing all them feel bad that you let somebody like that pass you by. And even Chris Rock said that he was trying to get the man a TV show and they wouldn't do it. And as funny as Bernie Mac is, you telling me they didn't want to get this man a TV show. That's why I just don't trust Hollywood, man. And that's the reason why I'm always going to be the ones that going to call them out every single time. Every single time I'm calling them out, man. They just full of it.
In that same interview, DL confirmed that Bernie felt that no one would give him an opportunity. He continued by stating that Wilmore was pivotal in the creation of the show because he didn't change Bernie, but he was able to present Bernie in a way that worked for him. Wilmore added that because of his show, The PJs, he knew he wanted to do a non-animated sitcom. So after seeing the original Kings of Comedy, he approached Bernie with the idea, and he loved it. So did Fox. Wilmore's goal was to show a different side of Bernie, which is why he says that the single camera format was so important to the show. Bernie as a comedian on stage is very dynamic. If I had him up in front of an audience, I'd be competing with that version of Bernie and it'd be no competition. I would lose. But if I were doing a single camera show, I could have a more intimate portrait of Bernie that doesn't compete with the outsized version of him on stage, and viewers could get to know him in a different way. The Bernie Mac Show premiered on Fox in November 2001 to decent ratings. The first season averaged 9.5 million viewers, and the show was critically acclaimed. Larry Wilmore won an Emmy Award for writing the pilot episode, and the series won a Peabody Award for the first season as well. That year, Bernie himself was nominated for an Emmy, Golden Globe, an NAACP Image Award for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. After a successful first season, Fox decided to air the show in direct competition with ABC's My Wife and Kids, starring Damon Wayans. The Wayans family sitcom would outperform the Bernie Mac show on a regular basis. My Wife and Kids averaged over 11 million viewers to Bernie Mac's 10 million. Yes, the show fell behind My Wife and Kids, but the second season of the Bernie Mac show delivered higher ratings than the first season, and for some reason, the network
That's the thing. I never really even caught up with
Academy,
it, though.
Wilmore remembers the night he won the Emmy Award.
Like, that's the thing. I never, paid attention to, like, the ratings of them. But My Wife and Kids was also a good TV show, too. So I can't even just cap on that. And, like, because I was watching both of them, the Bernie Mac show and My Wife and Kids. They both are good shows. So I never tried to put one above the other because I tune into them both. So y'all can let me know, did y'all ever watch, like, both of those as well? But I never, like, you know what I'm saying, like, try to say one show was better than the other because they both was good.
Where the head of Fox said, well, I guess now we can't fire him. Apparently, even before the second season premiered, Larry Wilmore's relationship with the network soured. Wilmore says Fox tried to divide him and Bernie, which proved to be successful by the middle of the second season. In the interview, Larry wonders if it was Bernie's personal demons that might have gotten in the way when it came to who really created the show. Wilmore added that it's possible Bernie may have felt that something was stolen from him. As the relationship between Bernie and Larry worsened, Larry said, after that, there was really no reason for him to stick around, and that's when the network fired him in the middle of the season.
Wow.
Variety reported that Wilmore and the network constantly clashed over the direction of the show, and Fox felt the show wasn't delivering enough laughs. While Wilmore was the showrunner, he constantly received network notes interfering with the creative process. The network notes started right from the beginning. According to Entertainment Weekly, Wilmore revealed that the network didn't like it when Bernie spanked Jordan in the middle of the drugstore in the pilot episode. Larry responded, sorry white people, but black people spanked their kids, then proceeded to ignore the note. Eventually, tensions between Wilmore, Bernie, and Fox got to the point of no return, and Fox fired Wilmore halfway through season 2.
Golly.
After Wilmore's firing, the network pushed the show's time slot back an hour. The show was no longer competing with My Wife and Kids, giving it a ratings boost. The Bernie Mac show now followed American Idol, giving it even better ratings than the first season. A 2003 article in TV Guide details Mac's feelings towards Wilmore's firing. You know, networks. Similar backstage battles have been going on for a long time, but the situation with Larry was something that he chose to do. Larry was an instrumental part of the Bernie Mac show. He really shaped it, but there really wasn't anything he could do after season 2. The Bernie Mac show would last for another 3 years on Fox, but the ratings would continue to decline due to the constant shuffling of the show's time slot. First, it was on Wednesdays, and they moved the show to Sundays, then Mondays, and back to Wednesdays before finally settling on Fridays. Fans found it hard to keep up. The final season of the show averaged 3.6 million viewers. Despite the show,
it kind of went right down. I don't know why they kept shuffling the show like back from Wednesday to Sunday to Tuesday. Like, just leave it on one day. That way fans will know what day it come on. If you constantly moving around, yes, that'll hurt the ratings of any TV show.
Low ratings, the show won 3 consecutive NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Comedy Series. Bernie himself would take home 4 straight NAACP Awards for Outstanding Actor in a Comedy Series. The series aired its final episode on April 14, 2006. Throughout its run, the Bernie Mac show had tugged on the heartstrings of millions of viewers who identified with Bernie and his style of parenting. Yes, the series is based on the comedy of Bernie Mac, but like DL said, Larry was able to present Bernie in a very specific, unique, and digestible format for all Americans to see. In any case, apart from having to prove his worth to the industry, Bernie also encountered some harsh competition from industry elites, one of whom was none other than Steve Harvey himself. You see, while filming The Kings of Comedy, Harvey was alleged to be the smoothest of the performers, but also the most aggressive toward the audience, picking targets in the front row for comments on their hair, clothes, and career prospects. Bernie Mac, on the other hand, had a different approach, something you could call hard-edged, and some of his material ventures away from comedy and into the wounds of real life.
First year we did it, it was just me, Bernie, and Steve.
Right.
And Steve closed.
So it was alleged that Steve Harvey might have been jealous of Bernie Mac's approach, and that small hiccup is what grew into a beef that lasted for years. For years, rumors have circulated that during the time of the original Kings of Comedy tour, there was some tension between Steve Harvey and the late Bernie Mac. In fact, it reached a point where those rumors were addressed by other members like Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric, who was a part of the tour along with D.L. Hewley, Steve Harvey, and Bernie Mac, confirmed that the two comedians did not see eye to eye. Yeah. I mean, they were the kind of guys that they both alpha males. They just saw it different, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was able to get through it, he said, while on Shannon Sharp's podcast club, Shay Shay. Cedric added that because of the feud, it had prevented them from doing another tour. I think, of course, that was, definitely a contributing circumstance. Okay. But I also think that it had a lot to do with the promoter on the thing because he got a bigger head than all of us. The dude that put us all together started to really think was about him. So it started to be that. So it was a lot of those kinds of elements.
Is that one of the reasons why you didn't do? You did the first part, the second part.
I think, of course, that was, definitely a contributing circumstance.
In 2003, Mac had an interview with GQ magazine where he accused Harvey of being jealous of him and trying to sabotage him for certain movie roles. Harvey acknowledged his feelings about the GQ article and admitted his anger.
That right there kind of new to me. I never known Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac having issues with each other. I'm pretty sure, like I said before, if they did, I'm pretty sure it wasn't nothing serious or something. Because, when you in a business together, of course, you're going to think different from one another. You ain't going to think the same all the time. But I never known them having issues. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it wasn't nothing really, really serious that they couldn't work out.
About it. I was upset at first because it just wasn't true, said Harvey. Me and Bernie had a lot of good times together, and then this article in GQ came out and put all this vicious stuff in there. Harvey also acknowledged that he spoke with Mac about the interview. B said he never said it. I had to take him at his word for it. After Mac's passing, Harvey revealed that his widow, Rhonda McCullough, helped him get beyond the feud. Rhonda, of all people, knows the truth. It was a cleansing moment for me because I was able to let go of a lot of stuff. No one knows what was actually behind the beef. However, Harvey's admission of having a cleansing moment might imply that something was there indeed. Whatever it was, we'll probably never know. From the looks of things, however, Steve has shown that he does regret how the relationship between him and Mac went down the drain, and he's even proven it on air. A while back, Steve Harvey dedicated one of his show's episodes of his daytime talk show to honoring the legacy of the late Bernie Mac. For the tribute special, Harvey was joined by D.L. Hewley and Cedric the Entertainer for the announcement that November 14th had been formally declared Bernie Mac Day by Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Bernie was a Chicagoan through and through, which is why the city of Chicago sent this over, Harvey said. This is from the city of Chicago. It's actually a proclamation that says, in recognition of Bernie's remarkable life and legacy, Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel has proclaimed today, November 14th, Bernie McDay in Chicago. In any case, during the final years of his illustrious career, Bernie Mac confronted not just the demands of showbiz, but also a hidden battle with severe sarcoidosis, a perplexing ailment characterized by inflammation in the body's tissues. This revelation marked a poignant turning point in the life of the beloved comedian, as he grappled with the relentless challenges posed by his health while striving to continue his remarkable journey in the world of entertainment. On March 19, 2007, during an appearance on the CBS Late Show with David Letterman, Bernie Mac made an announcement that would reverberate throughout the entertainment industry. With candor and a hint of resignation, he shared his decision to retire from the career that had spanned 3 decades. He expressed his desire to savor life outside the spotlight, revealing how he yearned to relish the simple joys he had missed along the way. I'm going to still do my producing, my films, Mac told Letterman, but I want to enjoy my life a little bit. In his heartfelt conversation with Letterman, Bernie Mac reflected on his early days as a street performer.
That's why I said he gonna truly be missed, man. We all miss Bernie Mac. It's like when I'm watching this, I'm just thinking about all the movies and stuff that I still watch him in. I still even watch the TV show, the Bernie Mac show, his stand-up comedy. It's like, man, when you see this, it just make you just want to burst in tears, because he was just one of the greats, and you hate to lose somebody like that, man. You really do, man. You hate losing somebody like this,
recalling a time when he was just a struggling artist honing his craft. I missed a lot of things, he confided to Letterman. I was a street performer for 2 years. I went into clubs in 1977 and was on the road 47 weeks out of the year. Despite the toll that his extensive career had taken on him, Bernie Mac remained a formidable presence in the film industry during these final years. He etched his name in cinematic history with a memorable appearance in the 2007 blockbuster Transformers, where he portrayed the charismatic car salesman Bobby Bolivia. Additionally, his distinctive voice graced the animated world as he lent his talents to the character of Zuba, Alex the lion's long-lost father, in Madagascar, Escape to Africa. Notably, Bernie Mac's last two film endeavors, Soul Men, 2008, a musical comedy where he co-starred alongside Samuel L. Jackson, and Old Dogs, 2009, in which he played the role of Jimmy Lunchbox, continued to captivate audiences months after his passing. Tragically, on July 19, 2008, Bernie Mac's health took a sharp decline, necessitating his admission to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in his beloved hometown of Chicago. For 3 grueling weeks, he battled the complications in the intensive care unit. However, in the early morning hours of August 9, 2008, Bernie Mac succumbed to a cardiac arrest, leaving a void in the world of comedy and entertainment. Importantly, his publicist clarified that the complications leading to his demise were not directly attributed to his pre-existing condition, sarcoidosis. At the time, his sister-in-law revealed that Mac's inflammatory lung disease contributed to his death. He had sarcoidosis, but it was in remission, she said. But because he had it, his immune system was compromised. He had an infection. He was on a new medication that suppresses the immune system, and that's where the pneumonia came from. She revealed that Mac, having trouble breathing and running a fever, was actually hospitalized 8 days before the date given for his admittance. The actor was diagnosed with pneumonia and immediately placed on a ventilator. He was critically ill when he was in the hospital, she added. He was in intensive care the whole time. Bernie Mac's passing marked the end of an era, leaving behind a legacy that transcended the boundaries of comedy. A week after his untimely death, a public memorial was held at the House of Hope Church, where nearly 7,000 people gathered to pay their respects and celebrate the life of this comedic giant. Among the notable mourners were prominent figures from the entertainment industry, including Chris Rock, Chicago Mayor Richard M. Daley, Samuel L. Jackson, Ashton Kutcher, Don Cheadle, the cast members from The Bernie Mac Show, and his fellow Kings of Comedy comrades D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey. In any case, although Hollywood allegedly sabotaged his career, Bernie Mac's journey was one of resilience, laughter, and undeniable talent. His enduring impact on the world of comedy and entertainment continues to be felt, reminding us that even in the face of adversity, his indomitable spirit and humor shone through, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of fans and colleagues alike. Anyway, that's it for this video.
All right, y'all. We have made it to the end of the video. You know, y'all kind of heard what I was saying about it, man. You know, it's a sad situation that he's gone. Like I said, he's still one of my favorites of all time. I'm still watching his movies, his TV shows and stuff. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it. I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.